Hi guys, it's Frank here from the module Find Your Purpose. And I'm shooting this video just to give you already a little bit of heads up before we start. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about three things. One, what is purpose or what is passion exactly? Two, how can you find it? What is the technique that we're also going to use in our module? And three, I'm going to ask you a question that you can give yourself, that you can prepare already consciously or subconsciously, and that way you will get most out of our session. So let's start with the first one. What is purpose, or what I call passion? What is it exactly? There are so many different perceptions on it, and to me it is based on four circles, and in the middle you will find your purpose or your passion. And the first thing is definitely something you love doing. There's no point in doing things that you don't like and you don't love. So one element of purpose, of passion, is that you gotta love it. But it's not enough. You also have to be, let's say, naturally skilled. You have to be good in that thing you love doing, because otherwise it will be much harder to reach for the next level, and in that way it's harder to grow, and from growth we also get more, we feel more luck, more happy. So you love doing something you're naturally skilled in, and also something you want to contribute. Because there are a lot of people who love what they do, they may be good at it, but they don't want to share it with the world. And this is an essential element when we talk about purpose. It is something that you want to contribute, want to give to others. And the last thing is very simple, something you can make money of. Because in this world, we use money to exchange value. And otherwise it will be a hobby or something that you can do aside of your normal job. But for me, passion and purpose is something that is in the center of your agenda. So in that way you have to find a way that you can also make money, you can make a living out of it. And trust me, that is possible in so many things, so many ways. You just have to be a little bit more creative. So that is passion and purpose, those four elements. Now, how can you find it? The second thing, the technique that we're going to use on our workshop. And I like to speak in metaphors, in symbolism. And I see it as a treasure map. And everyone has a treasure. Everyone has a passion, a purpose. It's a fact. Everyone has something unique. And it's on our treasure map. And see your treasure map as your life. And a lot of people are trying to find it. They're going all the way, trying to hit it, trying to look for it. It's hard to find it. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you the technique how you can move directly to it instead of trying all these different things. And what we're going to do is, first thing, is we will look at your life, and you trust me that there are already a lot of signals in your life already there, aiming towards your treasure. If you look at it very carefully, these signs are already there. But unfortunately, you also did maybe some things, or you made some decisions that were not really leading towards your treasure, but leading towards other ways. And the reason that you did that was probably maybe because of social pressure, because of status, maybe because of your ego, that your ego loved doing these things, it would look good on your resume, or because of money related issues, and you could earn more. But these decisions took you a little bit off your path. So what I'm going to show you is exactly what are these signs, these signals that were really on your path, these intrinsic motivations, and what were the things that were actually extrinsically driven. And when you will do that, you will see that there's already a path going that way. So that's the first step, to exactly notice what is some things that we really love doing for ourselves. What did we attract if we look at our life, and what are the things that we didn't choose but others chose for us, let's put it that way. So that's the first step. And the next step, once you see all these dots, the next step is to actually to connect them. So a lot of people, they see, okay, I love this sport, I love this job, and I love traveling, and I love this and that, and all these different dots. The problem why people cannot find it is because they see it separately. They think they cannot, they don't want travel for the whole life, they don't want to play the sport for the whole life. But the thing here is, it's all about the connection, it's all about how can you connect them. And there's only one way to figure it out, is to ask one layer deeper, and that's what we're going to do in our workshop. But from all these signs that you had, it's about what exactly did you like about it, and how can these signs be connected with each other. And once you have this path will become even more and more clear. So in the next phase, once you have this more clear, you will know that you can make this decision, and this decision, but not this and this and this and this and this anymore. So a lot of options will go away. You'll be more limited in your choices, which is a good thing, because you don't have the stress of all these things that you could also do, but you'll be more sharp in what you actually want to do. And once you find it out, this becomes more clear and clear, and you will finally find it much faster than anybody else. So when I found out this technique, I actually saw a video, and it's a video of Steve Jobs, and he gave a speech at a university, and I wanted to share you the video because he tells so explicitly and so nicely what I'm actually explaining here. And I want to share you the video. It's a short video of 5 minutes, and I want to give you the question, if you look at this video, what exactly do you get out of it? So a short video, I'll be right back at you.
I'm honored to be with you today for your commencement from one of the finest universities in the world. Truth be told, I never graduated from college, and this is the closest I've ever gotten to a college graduation. Today, I want to tell you 3 stories from my life. That's it. No big deal. Just 3 stories. The first story is about connecting the dots. I dropped out of Reed College after the first 6 months, but then stayed around as a drop-in for another 18 months or so before I really quit. So why'd I drop out? It started before I was born. My biological mother was a young, unwed graduate student, and she decided to put me up for adoption. She felt very strongly that I should be adopted by college graduates, so everything was all set for me to be adopted at birth by a lawyer and his wife. Except that when I popped out, they decided at the last minute that they really wanted a girl. So my parents, who were on a waiting list, got a call in the middle of the night asking, "We've got an unexpected baby boy. Do you want him?" They said, "Of course." My biological mother found out later that my mother had never graduated from college and that my father had never graduated from high school. She refused to sign the final adoption papers. She only relented a few months later when my parents promised that I would go to college. This was the start in my life. And 17 years later, I did go to college. But I naively chose a college that was almost as expensive as Stanford. And all of my working class parents' savings were being spent on my college tuition. After 6 months, I couldn't see the value in it. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and no idea how college was going to help me figure it out. And here I was, spending all of the money my parents had saved their entire life. So I decided to drop out and trust that it would all work out okay. It was pretty scary at the time, but looking back, it was one of the best decisions I ever made. The minute I dropped out, I could stop taking the required classes that didn't interest me and begin dropping in on the ones that looked far more interesting. It wasn't all romantic. I didn't have a dorm room, so I slept on the floor in friends' rooms. I returned Coke bottles for the 5-cent deposits to buy food with. And I would walk the 7 miles across town every Sunday night to get one good meal a week at the Hare Krishna temple. I loved it. And much of what I stumbled into by following my curiosity and intuition turned out to be priceless later on. Let me give you one example. Reed College at that time offered perhaps the best calligraphy instruction in the country. Throughout the campus, every poster, every label on every drawer was beautifully hand calligraphed. Because I had dropped out and didn't have to take the normal classes, I decided to take a calligraphy class to learn how to do this. I learned about serif and sans serif typefaces, about varying the amount of space between different letter combinations, about what makes great typography great. It was beautiful, historical, artistically subtle in a way that science can't capture, and I found it fascinating. None of this had even a hope of any practical application in my life. But 10 years later, when we were designing the first Macintosh computer, it all came back to me. And we designed it all into the Mac. It was the first computer with beautiful typography. If I had never dropped in on that single course in college, the Mac would have never had multiple typefaces or proportionally spaced fonts. And since Windows just copied the Mac, it's likely that no personal computer would have them. If I had never dropped out, I would have never dropped in on that calligraphy class, and personal computers might not have the wonderful typography that they do. Of course, it was impossible to connect the dots looking forward when I was in college, but it was very, very clear looking backwards 10 years later. Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
Right. Nice video, huh? And I hope it also gave you some insight, and it tells you exactly what I'm explaining here is about connecting the dots. And for me, there are 3 main insights when I look at the video. 1, if you can never drop out, you can never drop in. So if you can never choose to not do something, you can also not choose to actually do something that you like. And those are those things that I talked about. Second, he mentioned that he had a rough time. It was quite hard. Like he had to sleep on the ground and so forth. But he loved it. And that's exactly what purpose or passion will do with you as well. You don't need all these materialistic things anymore. Because if you love what you're doing, it's irrelevant. It will give you joy from another source. So that's the second thing. And the third thing is you can only connect the dots looking backwards. And you have to trust that they will connect looking forward, like in the future. So trust your instinct, trust your intuition, trust that all the things that you like, that you like for a reason. And in our workshop, we're gonna see how we can connect them. That's what we're gonna do. So to wrap it up, finally, I want to give you a question, just to put in your minds, either consciously or subconsciously, for the next couple of days or hours. And the question is, if you run through your day, what exactly do you like? What do you like when you run in through a day? The things you do, what do you like? Or what did you like? Maybe when you were younger, what did you like and what do you like? And once you found that answer, and you can do it daily, but ask yourself a little bit a deeper question. What exactly do I like about it? What exactly do I like about it? All right, that's the question that I want to give to you as a preparation, as a heads up, and that way you will get maximum result from our session. So I'll see you very soon. Take care.